I want to share with you insights from 5 books I read. And I believe when you also read this book and you apply the wisdom from these 5 books, your life will change totally. In July 2018, I had just finished my national service and I had no job, I had no money, no skill, no business. I was just doing some voluntary extra classes for SHS students who were going to write their November-December WASI exams. Now, I had earlier bought a book, which I will later tell you the title of that book. Then, during the time I was doing the remedial classes for the students, I decided that, okay, now that I'm doing only teaching in the daytime and in the evening, I have nothing to do. Why don't I start reading this book, which I had bought 2014. I had bought it in 2014, 2015. So the book had been lying down for about 5 years and I've never used it. So I decided that, oh, okay, so this time around, let me try reading this book and see what exactly is in it. And I can tell you that from that particular time to now, I am a totally different person, and I can see that it has increased my value financially by more than 5 or possibly 10 times, because I read, I applied, and things started changing rapidly. So I want to give you these 5, and let me let you know something. I want you to be part of the about 10% who will actually watch this video and apply the wisdom, because I believe personally that if 70% of you watch this video to the end, and that 70%, even 10% of you actually apply what you have learned, I tell you that your life will never be the same. One, the book that helped me so much is Eat That Frog. This is a book by Brian Tracy. It is a book about time management. It is this book that taught me that hard work doesn't make people successful. It is strategic hard work. It is this book that made me to understand the 80-20 principle, which is a principle by Vilfredo Pareto, an Italian economist, who said that about 20, let's say if you have a lot of things, let's say about 10 activities in a day that you do, 20% of the activities that you will do out of the 10 will produce a result that is more than 80% of the remaining activities you were supposed to do. Put in another way, if you have about 10 things to do, it is not just about doing all of them. It is about looking at the 20%, the top 20% of those activities that will bring a result more than the remaining 80%, or that will give you 80% of the result. So the 20% that will give you 80% is what you should focus on. It's not about doing all of them and saying, I've done 100% of the things I wanted to do, even though some of them are low value tasks. So what I learned from this particular book, the key takeaway is that don't just work hard. Do strategic hard work. That is a key takeaway from this book. And this book also taught me how to write a to-do list, how to make sure that my day is very productive. Before I had this book, I used to, maybe in a day, I would just say, I'm going to do this. I will have a lot of things that I'm going to do, but sometimes I used not to write them down. But this man made sure that anytime I want to do something, I have to write it down, even a day before. And when I wake up the following day, I will not waste time thinking of what to do. I will just go direct. These are the things I want to do, and I'll take them one by one. And any of them you finish, you cancel it. So that is about Eat That Frog. The second one is what we call The Millionaire Fast Lane. This is a book written by M.J. DiMarco. The Millionaire Fast Lane is a book that is based on the concept that in the journey of wealth, there are 3 major routes. The first route is what we call the hitchhiker lane. The hitchhiker is the one that is gambling to become wealthy, and he says that one, the chance of succeeding is very minimal. He is trying to say the hitchhiker is the one that doesn't have a definite plan. He doesn't want to really rack his brain and do something serious that will bring him the result. He wants to what? Gamble. He wants to bet. Those that are into betting, into gambling, lotto, and those things that they just want to break it, boom, one day without doing, actually working for it, but they want to succeed through gambling. He says that particular way is not guaranteed. Then he spoke about the slow lane. The slow lane is the one that believes in working and saving, and about 60 years time, he will finally become financially free. And there are a lot of people like that who have saved and invested for over 60 years or 40 years. By the time they've gone on retirement, they are even very old. They can't even enjoy that money they have been saving. So he says that particular kind of wealth is not wealth, because if you are almost on your way to your grave, and how will you even enjoy that money you have been working all for? So he says that the hitchhiker lane is not the right way. Then he has a last option that he calls the fast lane. He describes that one as the entrepreneur's path. Not just the entrepreneur, the type of, or someone who comes up with a business or an idea that he's able to replicate the process in a very short time. And mostly, that particular one, the description he gave is those that will be able to achieve that in, let's say, 5 to 6 years. And he says that particular route is guaranteed, though a lot of people don't want to really go through the hard way. Because that particular one too, he says that within the first 5 to 6 years, you are going to go through some of the harshest conditions of life, because some people have to work 18 to 20, 18 to 16 to 18 hours a day. Some people will have to work, they don't have any weekend. They have to work their ass off. They have to put in their energy before they finally see a breakthrough. But he says that is the guaranteed way. He calls that one the fast lane. The next one I'll talk about is what I call, or the title is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Rich Dad Poor Dad is written by Robert Kiyosaki, and the man is of the opinion that the traditional notion of go to school, graduate, get a job, work for 40, 50 years, he says that particular notion is no longer helping, because he has two fathers, and one of it was his biological father. The biological father was someone who went so far in education, he became an educational director in the US. But the father died as a poor man, because though he was a professor, he ended up dying as a poor man because he didn't have financial freedom. They didn't teach him how to save money and how to invest it. So he worked and worked and worked and finally became old. Even though he had the highest education, he was an educational director, and people thought he is a successful person, but financially he wasn't successful. And Robert Kiyosaki in their childhood suffered a lot to have financial freedom and to get the things they wanted. So Rich Dad Poor Dad advocates for financial freedom. He says that instead of thinking about go to school, attain the highest level of education, rather think about how to obtain financial freedom. And Robert Kiyosaki says that a lot of people go to school but they are not actually educated, and he advocates for true financial education. That is why he even wrote a particular book that he titled, If You Want to Be Rich and Successful, Don't Go to School. And it's a very funny title, but his philosophy is that school doesn't teach the financial education we need to succeed in life. We spend money, we all need to have to be financially successful and all that, to be able to buy our needs and our wants and all that. But school doesn't teach us how to be financially successful. And so that is the core philosophy of Rich Dad Poor Dad. So this book teaches about investment. It teaches you about financial freedom, ideas, how to manage taxes, how to be able to earn passive income, how to let money work for you. That is the core philosophy of Rich Dad Poor Dad. So the next one I am talking about is Achieving Your Greatest Dreams. This is a book written by me. This book is about how to achieve your purpose in life, how to discover your purpose, how to set your most ambitious goals and achieve them, how to move from where you are to where you actually want to be in life. There are a lot of people who are so stressed in life. They are so disappointed. In fact, they went to school, what they thought they were going to learn and where it was going to send them, they are not actually at that place they want to be. And there are a lot of people who discover that where they are in life is not where they want to be. They have probably pursued the wrong course. This book will help you to discover your true life purpose. This book will help you to break your mental barriers. A lot of people are living in an illusion. They don't actually, there are some of the things that they want to do and what they believe are the barriers that is preventing them from doing what they want. They are actually mental barriers and not real barriers. So this book will teach you how to break your mental barriers, how to move from where you are to where you want to be. how to set your most ambitious goals and achieve them. It is a sum of the wisdom I have learned from my research of the world's most influential people, both past and present, the most spectacular events in world history that have caused a tremendous change to humanity, the greatest philosophical thinkers, the most successful politicians, the most successful business people, a summation of the Fortune 500 companies, which are the most successful companies in the US, the greatest philosophical thinkers and religious leaders. This book is a book that will really help you to unearth your maximum potential, to break your mental barriers, and to achieve whatever you want to really achieve in life. It's a powerful book. I don't want to talk much, but if you need a copy, I will leave a link in the description. You can follow that link to be able to get a copy, or you can also, I will also leave my WhatsApp or Telegram link. You can follow it to contact us for us to help you to get a copy, and it will really help you. The last one I'll talk about is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. In fact, that particular book, I had a copy of it, but a friend took it to read and bring back and hasn't brought it back up to now. But I just want you to know, Think and Grow Rich is the mother of all the personal development books. Napoleon Hill wrote this book during the Great Depression in the 1930s in the US. It was a depression an economic depression that cut across the whole world. And that particular time, banks collapsed, farmers had their farms dried up. There was a lot of famine in those days, and even in the United States, that time after that particular famine or that particular economic depression, that the US became the world superpower, because it was that man, Franklin D. Roosevelt, who became the president after the Great Depression, or he came and took them out of the depression. Now, what is the great lesson from Think and Grow Rich? It is a book that has made me to believe everything is possible under this universe. So he's the one that says that if you can dream and believe it, you can achieve it. And Napoleon Hill is of the opinion that most of the time, whatever that you dream and whatever you want to achieve, if you have a strong desire, most people dream to achieve certain things, but their desire is not strong enough. That is why he says that desire is the starting point of all achievement. And if Napoleon Hill, if you read the book, you are going to get to know how people who desired success, people who wanted to be successful. In fact, he will even tell you how his son who was born without holes in the ears were not there were even no holes. He was able to plant in the guy the desire to hear till the guy actually bought into his idea, and they found ways to finally make the guy hear, even though he didn't have holes in his ears. So all this is telling us one thing: if you desire for something, if you have a very strong desire, if you are really determined, if you have an effective goal, if you believe in yourself, the book Think and Grow Rich says that you'll be able to achieve whatever you want. So if you take time and read that book, if you get a copy of the Think and Grow Rich, you read it, you go according to the rules and the advice given in the book. The book will help you to unearth your maximum potential, how to get to harness the maximum power of your subconscious mind. And if you make use of it, you are going to become a very successful person, and you achieve whatever you want to achieve in life. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell, and like this video for other more powerful videos like this. Once again, see you in the next video. Bye bye.